Yo! I don't know why I'm doing this intro still, but anyway, hello everyone, welcome to HLF1 season, and as I found out, I was mistaken last time out, it's season 4, not season 3, round 2, and we are here in Baku. Right now we are on my first qualifying lap, ending of it to be completely and utterly exact. Coming to Baku, I, as per usual, don't really have any clue how my pace is looking like, but early signs were decent, early signs were promising, and basically what I was thinking going into this race was like, if it's one, dry, two, if I don't make too many mistakes, and three, just drive as I usually do, as I go for original pole after my first lap in qualifying. If I stay clean and it's dry, then it should be a decent-ish weekend for me. Anyway, lap 2 in my qualifying session, starting my hot lap then, and I can tell you right now, this was my quickest lap in the session because I had a bit of a bad in my third and final run. Turn 1, I had a bit of a bad run through there in my first lap, so I'm already up on my delta by a considerable amount of time. Turn 2 as well, decent exit under the first DRS straight, I should say. Up on my delta, nice and easy, going into turn 3, another 90-degree corner. Again, getting a really nice run, and we're already, I would like to say, like 3 and a bit tenths, 4 tenths up on my time, and we are gaining time left, right and center, going to the end of sector 1, and it is purple, and I can confirm that it was purple in sector 1, because we are quickest of all as it stands. But second sector is where we can lose or gain a lot of time into this tricky second, sometimes first gear corner. Getting it nicely done into the castle section, really scary, and we scuff it up a little bit. We're losing time going through the section, but we're still up by half a second, getting a decent run, exiting the castle section, still 5 tenths up, and we know, or I knew at the time, there's still time to be found as we go into the latter end of this lap, about to finish our second sector of this qualifying lap, 6 tenths up as of now, going into the final sector, another purple sector, going onto the main straight, and this is just a flat out run to the end of the session, or the lap I should say. We are 5 and a bit tenths up on our previous time, and that delta is just going to keep climbing and climbing and climbing. Get the DRS really nicely timed, run up to the line, and what is this lap going to be? We're going to improve our time. It's a 1:38.871 if I started correctly. So that was a really good lap, and now I'm just sitting in a garage about to do my third run. You can see Inferno Lewis, second place, current championship leader because they won the last race, 3 tenths down on my time. But now, this was what I would have called a yeet lap, or attempt of it anyway, but as you're about to see, I lose concentration for a little bit, and that's just, yeah, right there, how brutal Baku can be if you lose your concentration, and that's what I was really afraid of in the race as well. We DNF'd on the out lap of our final run. Unfortunately, oh, not unfortunately, what? Fortunately, we didn't ruin anyone's laps, and now we're just sitting on board Inferno Lewis, who's on at the end of their final lap in the session. I think they are the only ones who can deny pole from us. They're going to cross the line, and is it pole for them? No, it's not, and they're only within a tenth of a second of us, so I can confirm now, we are pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. 92 thousandths of a second between me and Inferno Lewis. We're now lining up on the grid to start this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The lights are coming on. It's important to keep our lead going into turn 1. It's lights out and away we go. There's a bit of a time to go out, but we are out and away we go into turn 1. It's a really short run, so we do manage to keep the lead of this race into turn 1 on lap 1, and that was vital. If I knew that if I wanted to have, you know, a decent chance of running away, because I knew that my setup was really good in the race. I had a lot of straight line speed, so on the back straight, like the kilometer long back straight, I was really not that easy of a car to overtake. We have remained the lead of the race. Potts in the Red Bull has got second place, and Inferno Lewis again with a shocking start from second down to fourth. And yeah, as I've always said, first lap is all about get through without damage, don't lose too much time, and ideally don't lose any positions, or if you do, then minimize it. But we started pole, and we have kept pole going into the castle section of the first lap. We have yellow flags behind as expected. There are some crashes and coming together in the midfield of this race and in this pack. We are still leading the race, exiting the castle section, and this is looking good for us because I knew at the time, I have a really slippery car on the straight line. We are really, really quick on the straights, and that is going to pay dividends for us, as now we are on lap 3 of this race, and Pot C is only just hanging on to the DRS of us. But as we even slightly get out, or get them out of our DRS, we have a bit of a shaky S's there, or the Kings, and they are only just in our DRS. I think they also use overtake to remain in our DRS, because usually in here, if you're out of DRS, then it's game over for you. And as you can see, we're not even losing that much time on the straights with Potsy using DRS, and we are expected to be in at the end of lap 6, but Potsy in the Red Bull has already pitted, and as you're about to see now, lap 5, we are thinking to pit this lap, 1 lap earlier to cover off Potsy, and yeah, as you're about to see, what can happen if you lose concentration, as we lose the car in the S's and we lose a part of our front wing. And this is where my heart sank. I was like, oh no, I haven't thrown it away like this, have I? We crash into the pit entry even more. But, as you're about to see, we have a VSC, virtual safety car, which now means our pit stop is way shorter compared to the time loss anyway. We have replaced our front wing, we are exiting the pits, and can we get in front of the Renault? And the answer to that is yes, we can, only just, as they only just get behind us. Somehow, after all that, we have remained P1 after losing our front wing in the pit entry, having to change our front wing. That virtual safety car saved our race, and now the VSC is about to end, and we go red mid-corner, so we have to sort of slow down a little bit, and unfortunately, the Renault behind us has lost their front wing, a bit of the front wing into the back of ourselves, because we had to slow down mid-corner to avoid getting a speeding drive-through penalty, ending at the end of the virtual safety car. And now, as you can see, at the end of the same lap, the Renault of Snodder, I can't really spell the name, is only barely hanging on to our DRS. So we are just rich mix and overtake mode, just trying to manage the race really now from lap 6. 20 laps to go as we cross the line. 20 laps to get this to the end. We're now on lap 9. As you can see, the gap to Snodder has gotten up to 4.8 seconds. And I can tell you now, he's got more damage on his car, and I believe he's actually going to pit at the end of this lap. Which means that we are now fighting Tiro Jr. in the Racing Point, who is 5.3 seconds behind us. So now, when we go into lap 10, 17 laps to go, it's all about managing the gap to the Racing Point behind and just cruise, really just cruise. Lap 13, we have a top AlphaTauri of Yarb in front of us. The gap behind is 6.1 seconds, if we can see that correctly. We get by the AlphaTauri, and we have another VSC, as Potsy, the Red Bull that was battling with us in the first few laps of the race, has actually crashed out in the castle section. So now we just, get a bit of a breather, save fuel, save ERS, and yeah, just keep cruising really, with half the race still to go. The VS is now coming to the end of the period, and as you can see, the gap to P2 is now 7.5 seconds. So we are controlling this race really well indeed, and I was just driving, I wasn't even driving that good, I was just cruising around. As we are now on lap 17, we are about to lap our teammate who has disconnected from this race, which is unfortunate for them. So our teammate goes a lap down by us, but it's not because they were that slow, it's because the PC blue screened, which basically means it shut off on its own. So yeah, we put a lap on them. We are now all the way to lap 23, because, gotta be honest with you guys, nothing happened, as we had a really massive lift there in the Kings, because I was just wanting to cruise home. Just avoid any damage whatsoever. Don't put it in a wall. Cruise home and take this win, which, as we have the gap of 8 seconds behind us, it looks only we ourselves can bottle this win. Next lap, we are starting to pick up the pace a little bit. The gap is now 10.1 seconds, so we got 2 seconds on the car behind. We are slightly pushing now, as we are now on the second last lap. At the end of this lap, as you can now see, the gap is 11.5 seconds. The gap is just going up and up and up because we have started to push a little bit, as we are now on the final lap of this race. 1 minute and 44 minutes to go of this race. I'm not going to leave the whole final lap in the video, but only 1 lap to go. And at this point, I knew that this win in Baku, that I didn't think I'd get. I was thinking of podiuming it again. But yeah, this win, we can only throw it away ourselves. Gap behind is 12 point something seconds. You can't see them on the little preview screen. As we only have the Kings to go, you can still lose the car on DNF through here, but we haven't. Overtake a Rich Mix to the end of the race now. And yeah, it was a really boring race, I guess, for myself, as we are celebrating the win. It was a really boring race, to be honest. We just cruised home from like lap 8 or whenever the runner behind us pit. But yeah, that is P1 and the championship lead of the round 2. And yeah, we're now coming out onto the podium, doing our podium celebration, Sebastian Vettel style. And obviously, I don't really want to compare myself or anyone in the league racing to racing drivers, but yeah, 13 seconds in front of everyone else, winning from pole position, leading every lap, felt really, really awesome. Wasn't the win I expected to get, as you can now see from the full race results. Inferno Lewis, both Ferraris really in only 3rd and 4th. The Red Bull of whoever it is down in 5th. Did not expect to win. I was only expecting the podium, but I mean, I'm not complaining. But yeah, this has been a very nice race indeed for us. This does put us on the top of the championship now, in front of Inferno Lewis after round 2, so it's not over yet. But this has been it from me, and I'll see you next time in Formula Sundays. That's it from me, and goodbye.